Paranoia is the fourth RTS game ever made, beating Warcraft 2 to the position. In the old game development paradigm, a couple of months is a giant amount of time, as opposed to today's vaporware development hell. But still, imagine the world where this game came out a couple of months earlier, got translated into the biggest world languages like English, Chinese, Russian, Deutsch, Spanish and French. With its plain superiority to both Warcraft and Dune 2 and with its flexible difficulty settings, it would have enjoyed international success. For a couple of months. Just to be crushed by Command & Conquer and Warcraft 2 anyway. But also, Warcraft 2 is vastly technically inferior to CNC in gameplay and storytelling with CNC's FMVs. Yet it still survived and thrived with its much easier difficulty and superior controls, to outlive and crush CNC in turn. We could have lived in the world where Paranoia 4 is a well-known game, and where Paranoia IP is right there on the pedestal of only RTS games people who pretend to like RTS games ever heard about. RTS was born with Dune 2 in 1992, but despite the game's success no one cared to want more until 1995. Some even complained that these new everything the game releases are killing the proper pure game genres. The early RTS games were competing over improving the Dune 2 formula, so Paranoia is based on harvesters and construction yards. The harvesters drop off their stuff fast, so increasing their number comes with basically no downsides. But they harvest standalone bushes that take time to mature, instead of giant fields of spice. You have to keep track of idling slow harvesters in Dune 2, and here you have tens of them easily and separate bushes randomly popping up here and there. When they idle, they don't do it near the factories, they can fall asleep anywhere on the map. 1 second you are a millionaire, the next you run out of resources because all the gatherers are idling. The buildings can be placed only when touching tips to other buildings, but there are no dedicated safe aisles, you can build anywhere as if it's CNC. But CNC has ridges and forests. Paranoia being set on a desert planet has only few tiny rocks and rare mud puddles. The game has the concrete plates, but their use is different here. Since all the buildings have to touch, you can use the plates to make roads between them. As opposed to Schrott, where lines of buildings destroy logistics. The plates can also be used to reach into other parts of the map for cheap. The other way is deploying MCVs. Instead of just one construction yard, Paranoia has a complex building system where different construction facilities are responsible for different buildings. It has an interesting radar system. Unlike Dune 2, the radar has range, and also it doesn't refresh instantly. To have eyes on the entire minimap, you have to build roads to faraway places or deploy MCVs there and get better radar coverage with additional radar buildings. The units are simplistic with no counters. You start with light cars and end up with missile launchers or lasers. So, infantry is basically useless, even the scouts get replaced with the planes. And of course, tanks can run over the infantry and workers. The game uses contextual RMB before Warcraft 2, but it doesn't have the rubber frame selection yet. Windows 95 has just come out. CNC has the rubber frame, and it supports big armies, but the one-button mouse controls suck. Warcraft 2 has the rubber frame selection, and it offers RMB controls, but it limits the selection to just 9 units. Paranoia has basically 2 ways to play it. The first one is to move the army wall, one square after another, each unit individually, then waiting for them to destroy everything in range like in Sega Dune, not CD. Or you can build the mobile or the redeployable command center, and put whole packs of units as their subordinates, so you can control the whole army by only giving the orders to the commander. That way this plays like CNC tank blobs attacks. And I will even claim that this pathfinding is superior to both Warcraft 2 and CNC. The lack of the rubber frame and the weaker graphics and art style drag this game into the first generation of RTS, but the gameplay actually wipes the floor with Warcraft, and some elements sometimes can compete with its contemporaries CNC and Warcraft 2. The game is just so proper and fun to play that I was always forgetting that it has no rubber frame, and was trying to select multiple units with the mouse pointer. The game starts with an intro that barely tells anything, and is inspired by Dune 2. The main campaign is 10 missions long with an enjoyable tech-level escalation. After the last victory, there's a short outro with even weaker closing line, and the game just terminates itself, kicking you out into DOS. Since the game was never released outside its home turf, it was never translated. So,
Zpětí hněv
translated the lines, and I replaced the text in the intro and outro with English translation. I do not intend to make a tutorial video for this one, because the in-game controls are intuitive AF, and the game uses descriptive pictograms. Any general Westwood-style RTS knowledge makes the learning a breeze. Google Translate can use TouchPhone's camera to translate the menus. The only tricky part is the commanders, but they are explained in the manual that also can be translated with Google Translate. This is an awesome game and there's no reason not to play it. It beats Warcraft for sure. I say that Dune 2 is still a great game, but playing it is a deliberate challenge and an ordeal. You have to be ready, and you have to have patience and know what you are doing. Meanwhile, playing Paranoia in 2025 is just fun. With the flexible difficulty and game speed, it can be a challenge or entertainment, whichever calms your jimmies. This game is just great. Anyone who claims they are into RTS as a genre has to play it.